चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति सोपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुधपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखा निदांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पदे गोपेश गोपिकाकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। हरि ओम तत्सत्। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीम् उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठुकी। मूगं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरून् दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे कृष्ण। श्रीमद्भागवतम फर्स्ट कांडो chapter 5 slogan number 36 right now Prabhuji?
Yes Mataji.
Okay. Kurvana yatra karmani bhagavat chikshaya sahrat grinnandi gunanamani krishnasyanusmaranti cha। कुर्वाणा यत्र कर्माणि भगवत् शिक्षया सकृत् गृह्णन्ति गुणनामानि कृष्णस्यानुस्मरन्ति च। कुर्वाणा यत्र कर्माणि भगवत् शिक्षया सकृत् गृह्णन्ति गुणनामानि कृष्णस्यानुस्मरन्ति च। Bhagavan is never explored in the Vedas. What happened? Bhagavan is indirectly explained in the Vedas like I am pervading everywhere but I have no form. Likewise, Vedavyasa compiled the Vedas. On that time, he never explored Bhagavan through the Vedas. And also he compiled the Vedanta Sutra, Upanishads and everything, but he doesn't feel any happiness or unhappy. We started from that portion, no? The previous chapter is explaining about Narada Maharshi is visiting Vyasadeva. Why? Because Vyasadeva feel unhappy after compiling all Vedas and all Upanishads and Vedanta Sutra and Mahabharata and Ramayana, everything he compiled. But he feel sad. Why? He doesn't explore the supremacy of Bhagavan as well as how we can attain Bhagavan. That way he doesn't explore. That's why he feel very sad. So the Vedas are explaining, totally Vedas are more 90%, 99% is explaining about fruitive activities, karma kando. That means the 33 crores of demigods. Each demigod have each separate mantra, separate sacrificial rules and regulations, separate achara and prachara. Everything is separate for 33 crores of demigods. That are all included in the Vedas only. But about Bhagavan is explaining very 0.005% only, explaining all the Vedas or Upanishads and everything. So Vedavyasa feel unhappy. Then Narada Muni instructed to Vedavyasa that you must compile the Leela or Kirtaniya Sadahari, that you must explore. Then only some intelligent people can approach Bhagavan through the Bhagavata Dharma. So Vyasa started to compile this Srimad Bhagavatam. That much auspiciousness is included in this Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually, the Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, these two only the transcendental knowledge. Others, all Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas, all are for the material opulence. That is the difference between Vedas and Srimad Bhagavata and Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam is totally related to Krishna. One is Krishna spoke by himself, and another one is the science of Krishna. Likewise, these two only the topmost transcendental knowledge, so that Srila Prabhupada, Acharyas and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu promoted these two only. If we go through the Srimad Bhagavatam, then we can understand all Vedic literatures and whatever the knowledge included in this Kali Yuga or in this age, all are included in this Srimad Bhagavatam. But this Srimad Bhagavatam included the nutshell, nectar, only the Lelidam Phalam. That means the Nigama Kalportara Lelidam Phalam. That is first Kando, first chapter, third sloka is explaining about Srimad Bhagavatam, saying that this the Srimad Bhagavatam is the total juice, nectar, tasty nectar of all knowledge, including all Vedas, Puranas, Upanishads, whatever it may be, the nectar is juice form is given to us by Srila Vyasadeva through this Srimad Bhagavatam. That is the main important of Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why we must learn very detailed information given from the purport of Srila Prabhupada. So we can go through the each and every sentence of purport. Then translation is saying that while performing duties according to the order of Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one constantly remembers him, his names and his qualities. Actually, this sloka starting from the end of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita in last chapter, 18th chapter, sloka number 66 is saying that Sarvadharman Parityeja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. From there, this sloka starting, how we approach Bhagavan. While he performing all duties, that must based on the instructions of Krishna. What he did say in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Parityeja. What is its meaning? Sarva Dharman. What is the Dharma? Whatever explained through the Vedas, we can parityeja. Parityeja means we can avoid or neglect. Then next line we must take very seriously. Ma mekam sharanam raja. Only surrender to me, only approach to me, only believe me, faith on me. That is Bhagavan saying there. So while we are performing our regular duties in office, in a house, in a school, in college, wherever we are going, on same time we can remember Krishna and perform our normal duties. That is the Krishna saying that Ma Megam Sharanam Raja. That is the meaning of that. So here this sloka is saying that whatever Bhagavan instructing to us, we must follow. Simply we can follow. That is explained throughout the purport. We can go through the purport. An expert devotee of the Lord can mold his life in such a way that while performing all kinds of duties, either for this or the next life, he can constantly remember the Lord's name, fame, qualities, etc. The order of the Lord is distinctly there in Bhagavad Gita. one should work only for the Lord in all spheres of life. In every sphere of life, the Lord should be situated as the proprietor. Anumandacha, that Bhagavad Gita 13th chapter, sloga is saying that he is the all proprietor, he is the all controller, he is the all well-wisher of everything. Hanumandascha, likewise is saying there. So that is also explained here through the purport. According to the Vedic rites, even in the worship of some demigods like Indra, Brahma, Saraswati and Ganesha, the system in that in all circumstances the representation of Vishnu must be there as Yajneshwara or the controlling power of such sacrifices. That is also explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarva Loka Maheswaram. If we worship any demigod, that means we are worshipping Krishna indirectly. For example, if we worship Indra or Varuna or Chandra or Brahma or Ganesha or Saraswati, that means they are under control of Govinda. That is explained in the end of the Veda. 0.005% of Veda explaining that these 33 crores of demigods are under control of me as Govinda. Bhagavan, these 33 crores of demigods are worshipping Bhagavan. So, whatever we are offering or whatever we are doing the performance sacrifice yajna towards the demigods, it will go to Krishna only. But is an indirect way. Through them only we are going to approaching to Krishna. But that is all explained in the Vedas. But the Srimad Bhagavatam saying that direct way to approaching Krishna. Dharma and moksha, these two purushartha is combined together in the Bhagavatam. So that Srimad Bhagavatam is saying that fifth purushartha, panchama purushartha. Balance four purusharthas are explained in the Vedas like dharma, artha, kama, moksha. For these purusharthas, we are going through this, then only we can attain, human being can attain the moksha marga. So, we here Prabhupada is saying that if we go through the Bhagavata Dharma, then we can easily attain Krishna. Bhagavan is saying in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Paritteja Mamegam Sharanam Raja. How Mamegam Sharanam Raja? How we can approach or surrender to Krishna? That is the way explained throughout this Srimad Bhagavatam. So, the purport is very, very important. And here explaining that if we worship Indra, Chandra, demigods, any demigod, that is, we must worship or remember the Vishnu, Lord Vishnu as a Yajneshwara. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarva Loka Maheswaram. This world is created by Krishna only. This world is sustaining by Krishna only. This world is annihilation by Krishna only. The annihilation we have seen in the banyan tree leaf, Krishna is laying, small baby Krishna is laying, and his thumb of feet is sucking in his mouth. Likewise, we saw the picture everywhere. That means the all world, material world and everything is going inside the Bhagavan's stomach. Likewise, the annihilation is happening. So, and the cause of all causes, Krishna, he himself only, the Karanodavashai Vishnu, he creates every Brahmandas and everything. So, he is the creator, he is the sustainer, he is the annihilator. That is the first sentence, first sloga, first line of Srimad Bhagavatam, Janmadiyasya. That is the word is used there for Srishti Sthiti Samharam is done by Vasudeva Krishna, by Vyasadeva. So, we must perform the sacrifice or yajna towards Krishna only. No need to worship any demigod. That means if we worship demigod, that means the indirect way to approach Krishna. So, Navneet Prabhuji telling that the ultimate aim of the all Vedas is to know Krishna. But it is very difficult way. Very, for example, Acharyas are saying that if we reach to the top of a 10th floor of a building, then we are going one by step to the staircase. That is very difficult to attain the 10th floor. But if we going through the escalator, then that is very easy. Or lift, we can use the lift very immediately. Within fraction of second, we can reach the 10th floor. Same way, we can approach Lord Krishna through the Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Acharyas are promoting the Bhagavata Dharma by performing the 4 regulative principles and chanting the holy name and Kirtaniya Sadahari. Likewise, we can very easily attain Krishna. That is explained throughout the first paragraph. Next paragraph, apart from such Vedic duties, even in our ordinary dealings, for example, in our household affairs or in our business or profession, we must consider that the result of all activities must be given over to the Supreme Enjoyer, Lord Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord has declared himself to be the supreme enjoyer of everything, the supreme proprietor of every planet, and the supreme friend of all beings. This is Bhagavad Gita 13th chapter. No one else but Lord Sri Krishna can claim to be the proprietor of everything within his creation. A pure devotee remembers his constantly, and in doing so, he repeats the transcendental name, fame, and qualities of the Lord, which means that he is constantly in touch with the Lord. The Lord is identical with his name, fame, etc. And therefore, to be associated with his name, fame, etc. constantly means actually to associate with the Lord. Actually, Bhagavan is saying that, Acharyas are saying that Bhagavan is Tri-Yugi. Tri-Yugi means he is appearing directly in 3 yugas only, not appearing directly in Kali Yuga. But we are so much fortunate due to we are birth in the 28th Kali Yuga. Why? Because the Bhagavan as a Bhakta, in the form of Bhakta, he appeared in this Kali Yuga as a Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Bhakta form, not a direct Krishna form. He came as a and it is also the hide incarnation, Gopya Avatar. Gopya Avatar means nobody can easily consider this is Bhagavan or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna's to Swayam Bhagavan. That is, we cannot understand very easily. So, it is hide incarnation, Gopya Avatar. So, only the pure devotees can very easily understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Krishna. So, we are fortunate because we are took a birth in this 28th Kali Yuga of the golden age. That means golden age means this is the starting age of Kali Yuga. Means the first 10,000 years of Kali Yuga is called golden yuga, golden age. That means this is the only the fortunate people can took a birth. Other after 10,000 years, the Kali Yuga is total years is for 4 lakhs 32,000 years is there. From that first 10,000 years only the golden age. Balance is a very horrible condition. It will come as a very cruel and animals and human beings are not any difference. Same acting like animals only. Human being all are acting and working as animals only. They are not wearing dress. So human being also not ready to wear dress. Likewise, it will go down the culture. So we are took birth in almost 6,000 years past the Kali Yuga. This year we are took birth, so that we are so fortunate. We must consider our culture and we learn it from the Acharyas and follow the culture of Acharyas, whatever they are saying or advising or instructing. Then only we can develop in the Krishna conscious movement. So, Srila Prabhupada's mercy be spent to carry out the order of Lord Krishna. Not only should we give the profit of our earning to this cause, but we must also arrange to preach this cult of deviation to others, because that is also one of the orders of the Lord. The Lord definitely says that no one is more dear to him than one who is always engaged in the preaching work of the Lord's name and fame all over the world. The scientific discoveries of the material world can also be equally engaged in carrying out his order. He wants the message of the Bhagavad Gita to be preached amongst his devotees. It may not be so done amongst those who have no credit of austerities, charity, education, etc. Therefore, the attempt must go on to convert unwilling men to become his devotees. Lord Chaitanya has taught a very simple method in this connection. He has taught the lesson for preaching the transcendental message through singing, dancing, and refreshment. As such, 50% of our income may be spent for this purpose. Actually, here explaining about how we can engage in the KC, Krishna conscious movement, by simply working in a office or household anywhere. We are working for Krishna. That means the result surrender, result offer to Krishna. That is the good way to cultivate our samskara, as well as continuously we can connect with the Krishna conscious movement by spending the money, whatever we are earning, the money as a salary or any type of money we are collecting and spending for the Krishna's utility. That means, for example, we are buying the whole things like rice, vegetables, foods, everything we are buying in our house and using for Krishna's service, means bhoga offering. That means we are spending that money to Krishna only, and the result, the prasadam, is we are accepting. So first we are offering to Krishna. Nowadays so many devotees are the salary collecting, and the end of the month they got a full salary. Their full salary amount they are giving to the altar or placing into the altar. So that means the money is given to Krishna. After that we are taking that money. That means we are taking the prasadam and utilizing for the Krishna service. That means if we buy a chappal or a dress, then we can offer to Krishna. Bhagavan, this please take it as your use and given as prasadam. Likewise, we can offer to Krishna and take it back and used as using, we actually using as only, but we are first offering to Krishna. Likewise, each and every moment we can remember Krishna and smaranam, in Krishna smaranam. We can do all performance duties and whatever it may be. Likewise, the Lakshmi, money also we can utilize for the Krishna service. So this is explained here, but this austerity, charity, education, whatever it may be, we can surrender or result offer to Krishna only. Therefore, the attempt must go on to convert unwilling men to become his devotees. Likewise, we can advise to others, the common people. They are also fallen souls like us only. So we can consider them also sympathy to give the knowledge about Krishna. Then only they are also awareness, will get awareness. Then only they are also perform the Krishna conscious movement, and they are same like us. They are performing devotional service. Then they are also dear to Krishna. So Bhagavan saying that yoginam api sarvesham matgader antaratmana. These devotees are most dear to me, who is explore or who is preaching to the glories of Krishna. Continuously, we must do very nicely and simply serve them, and by performing the sacrificial yajna to any demigod, that is also go to Krishna only. So why we are going behind that staircase way? The lift is ready and operator, lift operator is spiritual master is ready. He is inviting, come, come, come. I will carry you on the top floor of the building. So don't worry about a staircase and anywhere. Please come. Likewise, acharyas are inviting. So we can simply follow them. Acharya's footprint follow, then we can absolutely certainty of converting this hell of Pandemonium to the transcendental abode of the Lord. No one will disagree to partake in a function where good singing, dancing, and refreshment are administered. Everyone will attend such a function, and everyone is sure to feel individually the transcendental presence of the Lord. This alone will help the attendants associate with the Lord and thereby purify themselves in spiritual realization. The only condition for successfully executing such spiritual activities is that they must be conducted under the guidance of a pure devotee who is completely free from all mundane desires, fruitive activities, and dry speculations about the nature of the Lord. No one has to discover the nature of the Lord. It is already spoken by the Lord Himself in the Bhagavad Gita, especially and in all over other Vedic literatures generally. We have simply to accept them in toto, abide by the orders of the Lord that will guide us to the path of perfection. One can remain in his own position. No one has to change his position, especially in this age of variegated difficulties. The only condition is that one must give up the habit of dry speculation aimed at becoming one with the Lord. Actually, this sentence is very, very important. That means we must avoid we are equal to God. That means we cannot. The karma is thinking that after moksha they will attain the demigod position or demigod planet like Swargaloka. They will attain Swargaloka. Swarga and Naraga, these two only they knows. So if they perform very nicely the sinful activities or pious activities, then they will attain Swarga or Naraga according to pious or sin actions. That is the karmic portion. There is the next one is Jnana Kando portion. Jnanis thinking that from these 33 crores of demigods, who is the supreme or who is the controller, main controller. Likewise, they are Jitnyasu. Jitnyasu means Jnani is searching for finding real God. Then at last, the Jnanis reached that the Brahman realization. That means Bhagavan saying in the Vedas, as I am pervading everywhere, but I have no form. So, Jnanis are thinking that the all over the world is spreading or spreading the light form. That light form, light energy is the ultimate source of God. So he thinking that the light is the supreme. So Brahman realization. Jnanis go to the Brahman realization. Actually, this Brahman effulgence are coming out from the body of Krishna or Bhagavan. That knowledge they don't know. That knowledge only bhaktas can understand. So, the Jnani is thinking that the ultimate God means the Brahman, Parabrahman. So, they go to the Brahman realization. That is the first step of God realization. And the second, last portion is Upasana Kando. Upasana Kando followers is commonly known as yogis. That yogis performing the Ashtanga Yoga procedure. Ashtanga Yoga procedure means Yama, Nema, Pratyahara, Dharana, Samadhi, up to Samadhi. These 8 processes is performing by yogi and attain the Samadhi position. On that they concluding that the God means he is situating each and every living beings as a Jivatma or Paramatma. Likewise they are concluding. So the yogis are thinking that the Jivatma or Paramatma is equal and there is Kaniga. Kaniga means we are Anu Matra Jivatma. Bhagavan is Vibhu. For example, Acharya is saying that if we taking one drop of water from sea water, Its taste is salty. The taste is equal. The ocean water, sea water is salty. Same way, this drop of water is also salty. But the size, quantity wise, is very different. The drop of water cannot argue that I am sea or I am the ocean. Never argue, because this is only the small drop of the sea water. And the ocean, the sea is very huge. Same way, Bhagavan is very huge. He is Vibhu. And we are the Anu. Anu Matra Jivatma. He is Vibhu Matra Paramatma. Likewise, the difference is there. Quantity wise, the difference, quality wise, we are equal. Likewise, we are the Sachidananda Vigrahas part and parcel. Krishna is the Sachidananda Vigraha. Ultimate source of all happiness is Krishna in full. But we are the small part and parcel. So we feel the happiness due to the Krishna's mercy. We are trying to find out the happiness. But in this Dukhalayam Ashashadam, these earthly planets, we cannot attain any happiness in anywhere. So here we are saying that the Bhagavan is presenting everywhere in our daily routine or work, whatever it may be. We can thinking of Krishna Smaranam, and we can perform very nicely the devotional service by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. Thank you.